Hello, Tom here. This week I'm going to talk about my last week and how it was a little bit different than usual. I had some challenges last weekend that I tried to overcome during the week, and I succeeded, it looks like, but let's talk about the details when we look at the spreadsheet. Alexa, what day is it?
Today is Saturday, March 31st.
I'm going to put that weight in here and take a look at the results. This is way better than I expected it to be. Now I'm almost 4 pounds above my, or I should say below my goal. My average weight loss went up per week because of this low number, and it was like 2.8 pounds I lost last week. And I'll tell you what, I'm not sure I believe it. Even though the scale did say 184.1, let me tell you why I don't believe it. So I've been trying to do my birthday was recently, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but this birthday was kind of a bust. My one son got sick, and we started to do a restaurant out, but he had to leave because he couldn't stand the smell of the food. So we really didn't do anything. So we attempted it again this week, and what we did, we went to a local bakery where they sell slices of cake individually. We all picked out our own birthday cake that we like, and I ate half of it on one night and half of it the other night. And I don't know if all that sugar rush had anything to do with it, but all day Saturday and all day Sunday, I just seemed like I was always hungry. After the meal, I felt like I needed something more. During the mid-morning and afternoon and evening, I just always felt like I was hungry. So I was trying to snack healthy, but still, calories are calories, and even if you're snacking healthy, it's more calories than what you're used to if you don't snack a lot. And so these 2 days, the whole weekend, just kind of scared me that I was way over. I might actually gain weight this week. So what I did is I might have gone into overcompensation mode during Monday through Friday. So let's take a look at what I do. So what do I do if I feel like I had a bad day, or in this case a bad weekend? Do I try to compensate for that? And yeah, a lot of times I do. So what's some of the things that I do? Well, I don't do a whole lot of exercising, but I do walk a lot. Walking is my exercise. And in this area that I live near Raleigh, North Carolina, it's been fairly cold winter, but we had 2 excellent days this week, so I went walking more than I would normally do when the weather is colder. And when you walk more, you burn more calories. So I live right around here, and I had some business to do in this shopping center right here. I had to go to Lowe's for the grocery store, and I had to do some tax stuff right around here. So I could have driven here, but instead I decided to walk. And instead of walking through this park and then walking right to here, I took the long way. Overall, I walked, let's call it 3.5 miles. And I did this Thursday, and I also did it Wednesday. And my wife and I walked around this park more than we usually do after she got home from work. So overall, I did more walking. And what's my goal for this? If I walk about 3.5 miles, that's probably about 300 calories that I'm burning, more or less. And I look at that 300 calories and I just play a game with myself and say, can I burn enough calories to compensate for one of my meals? So if I had 300 calorie breakfast and I walked 3.5 miles, which is about 300 calories worth of exercise, it kind of eliminates me even having breakfast that day. And that's how I look at walking, is trying to eliminate the calories of one of the meals that I had during the day. So I certainly did that. I also do intermittent fasting, where if I'm trying to eliminate some calories, maybe I'll skip a meal or two. I'm not very good at skipping days worth of meals. That doesn't work for me. But I can easily skip a breakfast and a lunch and have a normal supper. And I did this a couple of times during the week as well. And as I mentioned, this week had some nicer weather, so I got to work in the yard a little bit. I have no idea how many calories I burn, but I know that I normally don't work in the yard, and so I burn more calories than I normally would. So this is another way that I compensated for having a bad weekend. Now, before I go to why I kind of doubt that 184.1 is right, let me just say how I weigh myself to make sure you understand what I do. Is I make sure that I weigh myself the same day all the time. So in my case, I weigh myself Saturday mornings. And as I just mentioned, I do it at the same time. Normally I weigh myself between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning. And I do the same conditions. I wear the same clothing. In this case, it's pretty much underwear and a shirt. Make sure that I do it before breakfast. I just try to be very consistent every day so that when I do weigh myself, I am doing it consistently. And of course, as I mentioned in that one extra video near the beginning, I always use the same scale. If I can't do all 4 of these things, I just don't even weigh myself because I just don't know if the number is going to be good or not. So why am I telling you this now? It's because of this. Last night we decided to go see this movie. We knew that it wasn't going to be in the theaters very much longer. And we went to a new movie theater that we had never been to before. It's 7 o'clock last night. And I was reading the reviews, and a lot of the reviews mentioned how great their food was. But when I got there, I just wasn't in the mood for what they had. And so I didn't get anything. And I munched on a little bit of the flatbread pizza my wife got, but not very much at all. And I washed it down with just a couple of mouthfuls of her water. And that is what concerns me. I didn't have dinner last night. And because I didn't have dinner, I didn't drink anywhere near as much as I do. Normally I have some very big McDonald's-sized cups of liquid, club soda to be exact, when I eat at nighttime. And I didn't do that. And because of that, I'm worried that some of this weight loss is not fat loss, but maybe water loss. I may not be as hydrated as I normally am. All these other weeks that I did, I had normal dinners on Friday night with a normal amount of drink. Last night, I did not. So we'll see what happens next week if my weight goes up a little bit because I was dehydrated today. Well, then I know that this was an outlier. But I'm fully aware of what I'm doing, so I won't be disappointed if the weight does go up. Because I know this number really was measuring water loss instead of fat loss. But, maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out next week for sure. So until then, have a great day.